Okay, so recording with one or other of the devices. I'll go into OBS separately, but on OBS you've got 4 scenes set. Each scene has a camera and a microphone associated with it. So scene 1 is what you see out of web camera 1. Scene 2 is what you see out of web camera 2. Scene 3 is what you see out of camcorder, which is scene 3. Each one of them has got 1, 2 and 3 labelled on it, so if you look at it you can remember what it is. Scene 4, if you actually need it, is the camera on the laptop, which is okay if you want to talk to camera or record something with just that sitting there. So each device has got its own microphone. So this is recording on the microphone that's in the camcorder. This is a schematic of how the cameras are all wired up. The camcorder, the Canon camcorder, is camera 3, shown on the left schematically, plugged into the USB hub on the left, and webcam 1 and webcam 2 are on the right, plugged into the USB hubs on the right. So this is now recording on camera 1, using the microphone on camera 1. I'm speaking in a relatively solid voice from about 2 feet away. Okay, so what I've done now is I've turned off the microphones on the cameras and I'm just recording using the lavalier mic. And just so you know, I'm walking around the other side of the garage where you probably can't see me, but that should be recording still for camera 2. And I'll now switch to the camcorder and come into view, and that should still be recording all the way through. Okay, so to now start recording, the first thing you've got to do is switch on OBS. When you switch on OBS, you'll get this sort of screen. So the OBS screen is divided into a number of different sections. The bottom left are the scenes, which is where the camera and microphone combinations are bundled up. The next box immediately to the right of that is the devices that are included in it. The one in the middle with the dancing lines is the microphones and showing you which microphone is active. On the far right are a number of menu buttons below the heading controls, one of which is start recording, which you'll need to click in order to actually get it to start capturing the images, and one called stop or start virtual camera. That's an important one, as you need that when you're actually going to connect OBS to Zoom. You need to have the virtual camera started. The virtual camera is the function whereby OBS can be seen by Zoom as if it is a camera, and when you look in the Zoom selection for video, you would then see that OBS appears as if it's a camera. And then everything that is being seen in OBS is streamed into Zoom, and you can then send that out on your normal Zoom call, and you can swap between cameras and scenes in OBS, and they all appear to change in Zoom. So once you're into OBS and you can see the main screen and you want to start recording, then you click the start and stop recording menu button on the right. The easiest way to make basic adjustments to OBS is to use the wireless keyboard. It means you can leave the laptop out of the way where it's safe and control things from a distance. So there are hotkeys programmed. So camera 1 is click 1, camera 2, click 2, camera 3, which is the camcorder, click 3, camera 4 is actually the laptop camera, R starts recording and S stops recording. So this is just a summary of the hotkeys and showing you where they were set in the settings menu. I've got camera 2 is on a boom arm over there. The camcorder is over here, wired up round to the laptop. I've put one microphone on the articulating arm here, camera, sorry, which is camera 1. And that's what camera 1 looks like. It's the view looking straight down. Okay, I know you get lots of going around in circles because it's filming itself, but there are the settings that I've previously talked about. Those are the settings in there for the different microphones. The only one that's active at the moment, as you can see by the peak bar moving, is the lavalier. If you have two microphones on at the same time, you get an audio interaction, so you get an echo. If you get an echo, it means that you've inadvertently activated one microphone differently to the one that you'd thought. So just a quick reminder, there are the audio sources in the middle. The one that's been turned red has been turned off, and you adjust the volume with the slider scale under the active microphone. Just to give you a demo, I will make it echo by turning on the Canon microphone. So you should now hear some sort of slightly wacky out of sync sound. What I will do though is I'm just going to turn off the lavalier mic and just record with the camcorder microphone. And the camcorder microphone, I think, is perfectly good. It's no reason why you don't just use that if you don't want the lavalier mic and you're only using the camcorder. Only you can tell whether the sound quality in your workshop works really well. Sometimes you want the camera close to something and it might be near a fan or an extractor or something like that, in which case you're going to be a bit snookered for noise, whereas wearing it around your neck means that you can actually get away from the other sounds. Let's get rid of that there. And last but not least, you find your recordings by clicking the file in the top menu and looking for where it says show recordings, and that will take you to the relevant place on the hard disk where your recordings are stored. You'll see that the recordings are in two formats. One is called the .mkv format, which is the specialist format that OBS records in first. It records in that first because if you have a power cut or you crash out of your recording halfway through, the MK4 file format will store the file as it is up to that point in time without any corruption. The MP4 format is prone to just losing all of the recording you've done if there's a glitch. So we're doing it this way. The system stores it properly as it goes along, and then when you finish, there's a setting that's been set up so that it's converted. They call it remuxing into standard MP4 format. So you will have two versions of the file. You really want to edit with the MP4 version in your video editing software because it's the standard software that all editing suites understand. You can convert for the MKV format using software like VLC or any other converters, but why bother? If for any reason you have not had the MKVs remuxed, then up next to the file there is a further menu setting that says remux recordings, and that's where it basically looks for the ones that have just been recorded and it does it for you. You shouldn't have to do that because it should be set automatically. So after that point, you're off, ready to go and edit everything in your video editing software.